In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the little known secret that takes some real estate agents' businesses from 0 to 60 in a hurry with only just a few relationships. Stay tuned. I can't wait to share this with you. So let's dive right in. I learned this principle as a high-end custom home builder. For about a decade, I developed land and I built custom homes. And I realized that I could build a business little by little by meeting people who were the average consumer, people who were my clients, and win them over one at a time. Or I could win over one person, an architectural designer who already had all the clients that I wanted. And from that one relationship, he could open the door to new client after new client after new client. Now think about that, about what that could mean for your real estate business. I want to walk you through 3 simple tips that will allow you to begin to create strategic referral partnerships that will allow you to make more money through 1 or 2 relationships than you could ever make all by yourself working the traditional methods. So point number 1 is this. You need to identify who is the person that you ultimately want to be working with, who is the client that you want to be serving, and who already has a relationship with that person, and seek a warm introduction to that person. So in other words, you're going to get a warm introduction to somebody, some other professional in some other industry who already has a relationship with the client, the ideal client that you want to be working with. Again, for me as a home builder, it was an architectural designer designing high-end custom homes in one particular place on the map. So that leads us to step number 2, which is to meet with them as a peer. You see, many real estate agents, when they get a hold of this concept and they realize that one relationship can take them further than they can ever build all by themselves over years and years and years of effort, they go into that relationship as a solicitor or maybe even as just a vendor. What I mean by that is they go in with their real estate agent hat on and they're there to talk about themselves. They're there to talk about all about their client experience. They're to talk about all the initials behind their name. They're there to talk about how they're never too busy to receive referrals from that professional. And I'll tell you, although that line and that strategy may work with people with whom you already have a relationship with, it does not work. Let me repeat, it does not work when you're meeting a new professional. That's not valuable to them. It's very one-sided, and they feel very quickly that you are there to get something from them as opposed to bring real value to them. So step number 2 is to meet with them as a peer, listening and looking for ways that you can bring value to their practice. And that rolls us into step number 3, is you're going to identify from step 2, from what you learned about them, ways that you can add value to their practice, and then ways you can add value to their clients. And that is where the real magic happens, is that when you can actually offer value to their clients through them, you get a very subtle but endorsed introduction to many of their clients. And what this does is it opens up the portals for referring you to be so easy. You see, oftentimes we don't get referred for a number of reasons. Number 1 is that most agents come to get, as we discussed. And number 2, because we don't make it easy on them. It's a scenic route to the conversation that professional is having with their clients. Whereas if we can make it to where it's already part of their conversation, then it gets a lot easier. And that professional is more inclined to refer us on a very regular basis. You see, getting referrals from strategic referral partners is not that hard, but it does entail a little bit of strategy. It does entail you being willing to say, what is the common real estate agent doing with regards to these professionals? And what is it that I can do to stand out differently? Those 3 steps that I just walked you through will help you do exactly that. I've actually created something I think will be valuable for you. We'll put the link down in the notes, but it's the ultimate guide to 10x your warm referrals, in which I talk exactly about how to do this exact model, but do it on a deeper level. So be sure and grab a copy of that. Also, I authored a book called The Upstream Model. You see it right over my shoulder over here. And I talk in depth about how to get that. There's also links to that down there. So if any of this has been helpful, please let me know. Just give me a shout out. Give me a little like, a little subscribe. Let me know that this has benefited you. And my final request is this. It's go think bigger.